What's going on, guys? Back at you guys with another quick presentation on this beautiful Friday, guys. Hope everybody's feeling okay this evening. I'm not gonna take. I ain't gonna make this a long, drawn out presentation, but I want to talk about. Um, I want to talk about this begging somebody to do something, right? I used to believe that, when it comes to women, that you have to beg and you gotta continue to ask them out, and you gotta continue to, pursue them, and you gotta continue to try over and over again. I used to believe that you gotta continue to try over and over again. You don't gotta continue to try over and over again, guys. That's what I had to realize. Like, I used to think, you got to continue to follow up with a woman. I used to believe you got to be persistent when it comes to women. But I'm here to tell you guys, you don't got to be persistent when it comes to a woman. If you ask a woman out a couple times, you make conversation a couple times, you let it be known that you're attracted to this woman, you let it be known that you like this female, and if that woman is not reciprocating the same interest, if she's not reciprocating the same interest, leave it alone. You don't have to continue to beg and plead and continue to follow up time and time again with someone who's not interested. Because I used to believe that with women, you have to be persistent. No, you don't got to be persistent. You ain't got to be persistent. See, if a woman really like you, if they're attracted to you, you don't have to be persistent and follow up and text them over and over again and call them all the time. If a woman really like you and they feeling you and they're attracted to you, they'll follow back up with you. So what I had to learn is that if you gotta beg somebody to do something, then that means they don't want to do it anyway. You shouldn't have to beg somebody to do anything. If you gotta beg and constantly follow up with a female, constantly asking her to hang out with you or constantly asking her to do something with you, she's not attracted to you. Because you don't got to constantly beg nobody to do nothing. If you got to beg somebody to do something, then that means they don't want to do it. So when people say that as a man, you got to be persistent, being persistent is a lie. You don't got to be persistent, because let it be some dude that a woman really like. They'll follow up with you. Matter of fact, they'll follow up with you, hang out with you, and they'll finance whatever y'all doing. So if y'all going to Ruth's Chris, if this woman is attracted to you, she'll pay for your meal. All of that. So you don't have to constantly be begging and being persistent and, constantly following up with someone who's not interested. That's what I had to learn when it comes to women. If you got to constantly follow up, if you find yourself constantly begging, constantly asking a woman to link up or to do whatever with you, you might as well give that up, because she ain't attracted to you. That's what I had to learn. You don't got to be persistent, because if you find yourself in a position to where you're begging somebody to give you a chance, you begging a woman to hang out with you and spend time with you, that means she obviously don't want to spend time with you. That means she obviously don't like you. And I just wish that women were just more direct and they were more honest about their intentions. That's one thing I can't stand about women. Women are not honest about their intentions. I would respect a woman more if a woman was just honest and straight up with you and told you, you know what, I'm shallow. I judge dudes by what they look like. I judge a dude by what kind of whip he got, what his finances looking like. Can you afford some Christian Louboutin? Can you afford some Dior? I'd respect a woman more if they were just more honest and sincere about their intentions. But one thing I can't stand about women are not honest about their intentions. See, men, we honest about our intentions. Most men are direct. Women are not direct people. They're not wired that way. They don't know how to be direct. But one thing I had to learn as a man, you don't have to be persistent with a woman. You don't got to be persistent. If you find yourself constantly asking a woman to hang out with you, you find yourself constantly asking a female to do something with you, that means she obviously ain't attracted to you. You constantly asking, a female to kick it with you or do whatever with you. Obviously, she ain't attracted to you. So you might as well give up. And that's what I had to learn. When it comes to women, I am not persistent. I'll text a couple of times. If I'm not getting no hot grease, I just leave it alone. I don't text no more. I'll text a couple of times. I may call a couple of times. But if I see clear as day that I'm not getting any interest back, I'm showing interest, but the interest is not being reciprocated back, you might as well just leave that alone. And that's how I am with women. Like, once I see that a female is not interested, she's taking a long time to text me, she not giving me any type of feedback, she's not reciprocating the same interest that I'm reciprocating in her, I go ahead and leave it alone. Because why continue to show interest when interest is not being shown to you? You showing interest to a person and they're not showing any interest in you. That's why I don't waste my time. So I'm here to tell you guys, don't waste your time being persistent with women. If a female is not reciprocating the same interests, if she not giving you the same feedback that you're giving, just don't waste your time talking to them. Just don't even call the female no more. Don't even text no more. Just leave it alone. That's why I don't waste my time reciprocating interest to people who are not reciprocating any interest to me. I don't waste my time. And one thing I had to get through my head is that, women reciprocate to men that they like. So as a man, if you always find yourself begging or asking a woman for something, but you don't have no woman reciprocating any interest in you, that's a clear sign that women don't like you, and that's a clear sign that women think you ugly. You need to just give up. And one thing I noticed, they tell men who are not desired by women, I noticed they tell men who are not wanted, you got to be persistent. No, you don't got to be persistent. Being persistent is for idiots. If you're not getting any feedback, if you're not getting any hot grease, if a woman is not giving you no hot grease, if they ain't giving you the feedback that you want, you constantly calling the female, it go to voicemail. You shooting text messages, no reply. Or if the woman does reply, they take a long time to reply. You might as well just give it up. Just give up and just throw in the towel. And this message is for teenage boys. This message is for young dudes in their 20s. Just give up and throw in the towel. I know a lot of dating coaches, liars. A lot of dating coaches are liars, wolves in sheep clothing. They'll tell you that, as a man, you got to be persistent. You got to continue to try. No, you don't. You don't got to continue to ask no woman to hang out with you. If a woman like you and she feeling you, boy, she'll be calling you. She'll be asking you what you want to do. She'll be texting you, good morning. So, you just have to know when to just fall back. Because constantly begging somebody for something and you're not getting any type of feedback, you look stupid doing that. You constantly begging this woman to hang out with you, to do something with you. She ignoring your phone calls, ignoring your text messages, constantly giving you just a silent treatment, and you constantly begging this stupid person to hang out with you and do something with you. You might as well give up. Being persistent is a waste of time. Don't let nobody tell you that as a man, when it comes to women, you got to be persistent. No. If you was a dude like Chris Brown, you think you would have to be persistent? If you was somebody like Trey Songz, do you think you'd have to be persistent? If you was somebody like Shamar Moore, or if you was somebody like LL Cool J, if you was a man that women really found sexy, I mean, if you was somebody like Jason Derulo, do you really think you'd have to be persistent with a woman? Do you think you'd have to constantly, ask her to hang out with you? Do you think you would have to constantly text her? Do you think you would have to constantly call her all the time? Come on now. If you was a man like any of the dudes that I just named, you would not have to constantly beg somebody to deal with you, you know? And as a man, you just have to use common sense, and you got to know when to fall back. Because if you got to beg somebody to do something, then that means they don't want to do it. I mean, just think about it. If you constantly begging somebody and you constantly asking them to do something and they're not doing it, that means they don't want to do it. So I'm just telling you guys, like, you just have to know when to fall back as a man. Screw being persistent. Sometimes you just got to give up. But on that note, you guys have a good evening. Talk to you soon.